Hello, Gary Simpson from ZSM014.com, and today's offering for a book review is A Message to Garcia by Elbert Hubbard. Now, today is going to be a little bit different because I don't actually have the book. In fact, it's not really a book, it's more like a little pamphlet. It's about that size. It's a little brown covered thing and it's not much wider than that. I just don't know where my copy went to. I haven't been able to find it for quite some time. But before I get into the book, my tie for today. I haven't worn this tie for about 5 years, and I was searching for an appropriate tie to wear, and I actually didn't pick this tie. It picked me. It just fell off the tie rack, and I thought, well, it's good enough for me. Just a little bit about it. It's a Vicini tie, woven in Italy. It's a silk tie. Anyway, enough of the tie. Elbert Hubbard's A Message to Garcia. I've read this several times. It's only a fairly short story. I rated it 7.5 out of 10, and I noticed on Amazon there were 10 people there who rated it, and they rated it on average at 8.4. There's, I believe, 80 million copies of this little pamphlet, book, whatever you want to call it, in print, and I'll just tell you very briefly about the author. All of this information, by the way, is contained in our membership area, as indeed is all the information on all the book reviews that I bring you, but we're just doing this one in video. Elbert Hubbard, he was born in 1856, passed away in 1915. He was an American writer and publisher. His most famous work was the short story that we're talking about today, A Message to Garcia. Hubbard and his second, this is an interesting point, Hubbard and his second wife died aboard the Lusitania when it was torpedoed by a German submarine near Ireland on the 7th of May 1915. Right, okay, preface to this story, and I'll just read this to you. And he starts off, "If you work for a man, in heaven's name work for him. If he pays wages that supply you your bread and butter, work for him. Speak well of him, think well of him, and stand by him, and stand by the institution he represents. I think if I worked for a man, I would work for him. I would not work for him part of his time, but all of his time. I would give an undivided service or none. If put to the pinch, an ounce of loyalty is worth a pound of cleverness. If you must vilify, condemn, and eternally disparage, why? Resign your position, and then you are outside, damned to your heart's content. But I pray you, so long as you are part of an institution, do not condemn it. Not that you will injure the institution, not that, but when you disparage the concern of which you are a part, you disparage yourself. And don't forget, I forgot won't do in business." Interesting, isn't it, that so many people hate their boss, hate their work, hate their job, and just keep at it. Why would they do that? Anyway, a little bit more about this short story. It was written about the war between Spain and the US, and principally it's to do with excuses. I'll just read another short excerpt from Message to Garcia, and it says, "No man who has endeavoured to carry out an enterprise where many hands were needed has been well nigh appalled at times by the imbecility of the average man, the inability or unwillingness to concentrate on a thing and do it. Slipshod assistance, foolish inattention, dowdy indifference, and half-hearted work seem the rule, and no man succeeds unless by hook or crook or threat he forces or bribes other men to assist him, or mayhap God, in his goodness, performs a miracle and sends him an angel of light for an assistant. You, reader, put this matter to a test. You are sitting now in your office. 6 clerks are within call. Summon anyone and make this request. And here is the request. Please look in the encyclopedia and make a brief memorandum for me concerning the life of Correggio. That's spelled C-O-R-R-E-G-G-I-O. Incidentally, this was written quite some time ago, so he talks about encyclopedias, but you could do the test on Google. Will the clerk quietly say, "Yes, sir," and go and do the task? On your life, he will not. He will look at you out of a fishy eye and ask one or more of the following questions. Who was he? Which encyclopedia? Where is the encyclopedia? Was I hired for that? Don't you mean Bismarck? What's the matter with Charlie doing it? Is he dead? Is there any hurry? Shall I bring you the book and let you look it up for yourself? What do you want to know that for? I wasn't hired for that anyway. And so the story goes on about the message to Garcia. I found this a really thoroughly entertaining read, as you may have detected from the little bit that I have read to you. It's written in a fairly old-fashioned manner. Don't let that put you off. This is a tremendous story. As I said, I rate it 7.5 out of 10. I found it a wonderfully inspiring story, and I would thoroughly recommend that you put it on your reading list. This has been Gary Simpson from Zenith Self Mastery.